Oscar Gross. Episode 9. He couldn't explain why. He simply knew he had to reach Rome. The dreams, the strange coincidences, and the fragments of memory all seemed to fit together like pieces of a puzzle. Everything pointed in the same direction, as though the ancient city itself had been waiting for him all along. The bus rolled quietly through the sleeping streets. Oskar rested his forehead against the cold window and watched the streetlights drift past like distant stars. The steady hum of the engine blended with his thoughts, refusing to let him sleep.
Where is all of this leading? Why me?
The dreams had begun long before the war. They were vivid, unsettling, impossibly real. Years ago, he had even tried to paint them: cities of light, falling stars, and an unseen voice calling his name from somewhere beyond the horizon. Now, they no longer felt like dreams. They felt like memories waiting to be understood. First came his father, standing peacefully beside the sea as though death had never touched him. Then his mother, smiling beneath the colonnades of St. Peter's Square. Both of them had spoken to him. Both had seemed to be trying to tell him something. They were gone, and yet he could still feel them beside him. His thoughts drifted to Grom. He silently hoped that Vladimir Sergeyevich had kept his promise and taken the dog home. The thought of Grom waiting faithfully beside a door that would never open again hurt almost as much as the memories of his own family. Oskar slowly closed his eyes.
Maybe I'm losing my mind. Or maybe I'm only beginning to understand.
The sharp hiss of air brakes broke the silence as the bus pulled into the station. Dim lights reflected across the wet pavement. Travelers stood with worn suitcases and heavy backpacks, while somewhere in the distance a train whistle echoed through the cold night. Oskar stepped outside. The icy air struck his face, driving away the last traces of sleep. He had no idea what awaited him beyond this station. He didn't know whether Rome would answer his questions. He didn't know if he would ever see his home again. But one thing had become absolutely clear. He could not stop now. Something from his dreams was still calling him forward. He adjusted the strap of his backpack and looked up at the electronic departure board. Rome, 7:45. Platform 3. Deep inside, a new feeling flickered to life. It wasn't hope. Not yet. But it was something very close. High above the clouds, hidden beyond the smoke of war, a solitary star still burned. For the briefest moment, Oskar thought he saw a faint, circular halo surrounding its light. He tightened his grip on the strap of his backpack and stepped forward. Thank you for listening. Continue the story in the next episode. Subscribe for more from the world of Oscar Gross.